Well, happy Monday, y'all. I almost got caught up. You know, every time you're about to do something, people start calling and requesting stuff and all that type of stuff. So it's all good. Happy Monday. Much love to everybody in the building. We ain't worried about how you doing, how you feeling, how y'all feeling. I hope we get, I hope we still grateful for common sense around here to the lifestyle. We got common sense. Yep. We ain't trying to prove ourselves to nobody. Could have proved it didn't put in. That's right. We ain't got to go out of our way to make it seem like we hard. Nah, we don't do all that. We grow old gracefully. We live our life organically. And it just is whatever it is. You understand me? What people don't believe is their problem. Okay. But as far as cutting food, listen, y'all, people crazy. You better know people's crazy out here. So it's Monday. I didn't go to sleep till around about 9 o'clock. I got off late. It is and here she go. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'll be damn. Can I get an assistant, please? Hold on real quick, y'all. Do me a favor, y'all. Thumbs up this video if you don't mind for the one time. Hey, Regina. What's up, Capricorn, Leo, Goop, Dupe, and stuff? Shout out to all the ladies this afternoon. Yeah, I had me a good old time yesterday. I'm telling y'all, listen, if you are an adult and you still have your parents, I don't care. Hey, Lizzie, baby, I don't care if it's just one of them. Listen, in my daddy's eyes, I can't do no wrong. Wake up. It's Monday, midday, and we in here big. You understand me? Now, I'm going to give y'all a little update with the update on why I say that. And we just going to get into it. Thumbs me up for the one time, if you don't mind. Let me tell y'all why I said that. Okay. So not only does my mother, listen, in my parents' eyes, I'm the golden child. I mean that. I'm dead serious. Okay. And so, it's like a competition between them. Here I am, a grown-ass woman. And let me tell y'all, it's energy. Let me tell you how I know it's energy. First of all, I want to shout out my Lootie Poo. I want to shout out Ankh. I want to shout out Toya. I'm concerned about Lee. I haven't seen Lee. Lee, I love you. Come back. I want to shout out Miss Jackie. I want to shout out Lisa. Just all the ones that I know really give a damn, right? And I'm going to tell y'all where that energy comes from. It's an instilled light, right? Right? This is why, as a new content creator, I just had this aha moment yesterday, okay? The type of supporters that I have, I don't give a fuck about the ones that only come around to, hey, LOCa, holla, call up my channel. No, not them people. Not them people. Not them people. I'm talking about the ones that is authentic in the soul and heart. The ones that surprise and pop up and go out of their way when sometimes I don't even feel like, I'm deserving of that, right? But then I realized it was yesterday, y'all. Let me get my hammer out, bitch. It was yesterday that I realized that is a spirit. That's a spirit. Love is a spirit. Some people will never receive love in their entire life. Why? Because they don't love themselves. It started off with my parents. It ventured out to my grandmother. I have aunts and uncles who will battle my parents over me. That is a spirit. And some of my supporters remind me of my family members. So as a grown woman, I sit here with my own kids, imperfect, right? As a human being with protons, neutrons, positives, and negatives. And I still get treated like that teenager, that little girl that's excited about her birthday. Just like I did when I was young, y'all. This is why I'm zero tolerance. When you come from a household, or let's say a family, because some people don't have bloodline relatives that have given them love. But, in a lot of situations, God will put someone in your life, people in your life, to give you that love that you need, if you are deserving of it. See, I think a lot of people don't understand. Everybody is not deserving of love. I want to talk about that. When you were younger, you used to see movies like Damien, Children of the Corn, The Omen. You heard when you were younger that kids can be born in sin or out of sin. But then they teach you that all children are blessings, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that depending on how you are spiritually, as a mother or a father, if you a demon, you're only going to reproduce demons. And what demon that you know that's deserving of love? Because throughout their entire life, all they're going to do is cause havoc, uproot the righteous spirit, continuously do things to prove that they are not of the greater good. So no, all children are not blessings. Everybody is not deserving of love. So when I got off of live yesterday, I got to be careful with my words, being that I'm getting stalked consistently. I told y'all that I would be spending time with my dad. Y'all, how many of y'all are grown in the room and you have a father who still brings you gifts every time you see him? Anybody in the room know anything about that? How many of you all have that type of love where no matter how wrong you are, because everybody knows their own little, endeavors. You got that father or that mother or that grandmother who says, I don't care what you did, you're mine. And no, you ain't wrong. I can tell you that as a grown woman, a grown mother. This is how you separate your blessings from your lessons. Right. I can still pick up the phone and call my daddy, who is from Detroit, by the way. And as I mentioned, I don't know if it's something in the water, y'all. Okay. I don't know. Something about that Lake Michigan, baby. Something's the matter. Okay. Not wrapped too tight. They all crazy. And you know that crazy is going to produce crazy. You better ask somebody. Something different in the water around there to the Lake Michigan. You understand me? But you got to know that if it was in my daddy's water, then it's in my water. And so crazy don't show no favoritism. I'm spoiled rotten. And it's not about material. It's about that authentic love. It's about the blessing of longevity, life. It's about the bragging right to say, yes, both of mine are still here. Thank you, Mr. Dolores. Both of mine still love me. Both of mine still have my back, no matter what it is. That is a direct blessing from God. So I say all that to say, if you just have one, I don't care if it was an aunt that raised you. It could have been an older cousin. Anybody that took that time out to make sure that you absolutely understood that somebody loves you. If you're deserving of it. Love is a blessing. Everybody don't deserve it. And everybody's not going to get it. Shout out to all the ladies in the room. Thumbs up this video for the one time if you don't mind. We just celebrating life and all that it brings. I'll be right back. I see you. I hope I spoke to my Lisa Pooh. Yeah, what up, Kay? Shout out to y'all. Listen, it's a beautiful day. The sun is out. That raggedy ass snow is melting away. You understand me? Melting away. I do want to share this with y'all as well, right? So my sons, you know, I worked very hard throughout my life. And I'm going to share this with y'all. This one particular lady, a stranger, older lady, you know, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. All of the greatest advice that I've ever gotten came from some older person. They possess the wisdom, y'all. I know they can be messy as a mom. I know they're messy. I know they're messy. We all are. I know they're nosy. We all are. But it's something about the elders maintaining the wisdom. So any, eclectic piece of advice that I've ever received from a little girl on up until this day, because I still receive wisdom. A lot of people give me wisdom, they don't even know it. But I've always been one to pay attention. She told me a long time ago. No, this was not no family member. I didn't know this lady. She asked to see my hand. And this is my right hand, okay? This is on everything that I love. She asked to see the inside of my hand. I was young in this day. Now listen to me, y'all. In this day, right? Because see, I don't know how many of y'all have heard about this before, but I have a little brown spot in my eye. And for the people that really know a little something about something, individuals that have a little spot in their pupil, it would look like say you got green, like say you got brown eyes, and it looks like the brown part of your retina spilled around, the brown part of your pupil spilled on the outside of your retina. Anybody know what I'm talking about? I have a brown spot on the side of my eye. Now, this lady knew a little something, okay? In this day, as an adult, if she asked to see my hand, I would tell her no, because I know better, okay? But back then, I didn't know any better. I was about 22 years old. You know, Miss Debbie, there we go. People with them spot in their eye, they possess a little something special. I got that. Well, this lady knew this. She looked in my eyes. She said, your eyes, they're intriguing. She said, let me see your hand. Right. I gave her my hand. She said, ooh, child, you might have it hard while you young, but when you get older, you'll live like a queen. So I ran back home late on that day, and I told my grandmother, I said, Mom, because, you know, I lived over my granny's and my house. My mama and my daddy could not keep me away from my grandmother. While all of the other kids was going skating and to the park, bitch, I was sitting up under my grandmother. That was fun for me. I went home. I said, this lady, she asked me about my hair. She said, what do you use in your hair? I was always raised to say, I don't know. I don't know. But I told my grandmother that this woman had looked in my hand. She said, oh, no, child. You don't let nobody read your palms. I didn't even know that that was what it was. Of course, I never did that again. My granny said a prayer, what she called getting rid of whatever that was. You know, my granny was a bit of a hypochondriac, so to speak. Like anything would have been a big deal to her. What's a small deal to us was a big deal to her spiritually, right? And so she said, well, what did she say? I said, she told me that I would have a hard life when I was young. And I was young at that time, so that was like a cuss word. Like, what, you trying to curse me? Right. Now, I won't be able to add any more to that story because it's personal. Right. But as I mentioned, older people hold the wisdom. They don't have to be a palm reader. No, she wasn't trying to hoodoo me, goop doo. Nobody can hoodoo me. There's a difference between hoodoo, voodoo, root work, and all that. I understand the difference in it all. The lady had a skill. She was no palm reader. She just had a skill. You have to understand, palm reading and so forth is an inherited trait. It was done way back when, right? Way back when. Some things that we look at as evil is really part of the magic. We were just taught that it was evil so that we could lose the magic. But there is a reason why you have those lines in your hands. You just got to figure out what it is. So, as I said, in this day, ain't nobody reading these palms. And I can even tell y'all a story about that. So, I got family in the NO, right? So, right after Katrina, Canal Street, French Quarters, all of that was still busted up, right? It was still in devastation. Even in like 2010, 2009, 2010, we go down there to New Orleans. It didn't seem like it did. The people made it seem like it did, back in the summers when we would go down there, we would fluctuate. We would fluctuate from Virginia to Mississippi to New Orleans or Louisiana, because I got people in Shreveport too, Louisiana, and so you go Alabama, but not the dusty part, okay? And so you remember a place a certain type of way. So it had been about 8 years since I had been to the NO. So I go down there and I realize this place up, the NO, then that it's something down there, something in the water. The kids are different. The mothers are different, The love is different down there. It's something down there, and I can't explain it. You just got to go for yourself. But if you've ever been to the NO, you'll see where little kids, they might, back then, they might have some buckets and they be on Canal Street making music for a tip. Or they have a wet map and they might be break dancing for a tip. So the hustle, the grind is different down there. You ain't gonna never be hungry. And if you were drunk, bitch, that's paradise. You understand me? And just like anywhere else, there's some good folk and there's some bad folk, but you will never forget the NO. You'll never forget it. So we go down there. This is around about 2009, right? And it's dark. The streets is all busted up. They telling people, come on back. We're reconstructing New Orleans. It was nothing like it was, okay? They took their time. They didn't rush to try to fix nothing up, especially in the Negro area. But you got to understand, the NO is integrated. You might have the hood on one end, and then around the corner is $1 million houses. It's all beautiful land, right? Of course, the most devastated parts is where the Negroes are, okay? Like everywhere in the Americas, in the world, actually, right? And so we start walking. We saying, okay, we remember this was right here. You look over, it's boarded up, it's busted up. Now, this was years ago, okay? But we had went too far, right? We was in the French Quarters, and there was this lady, and Rock probably know what I'm talking about. There was this lady, and from my understanding, this lady had been there for years, maybe 30 years. She was sitting on the street of no businesses. All the businesses were devastated, boarded up from the hurricane, from Katrina. She was sitting on this corner at a table. Now, as soon as you turn the corner, you had no choice but to bump into this lady. So this lady, she had her scarf on like a gypsy or something, and she was a palm reader, right? So she said, you want to get your palm? She was telling, the whole little group. She said, you want to get your palm? And I'm like, hell no, And a person one of my other family members that I was with, he asked her, he was like, is that witchcraft? She looked at that man like he was the most ignorantest person in the world. She said, no. Right? Palm reading is just like mind reading. Palm reading is it's a skill. It's an inherited skill. from certain ethnicities. Nobody can put hoodoo on you unless you allow them. You understand? Nobody can voodoo you unless you allow it. Understand that. So I'm not suggesting that you go get your damn palm read, but I'm saying stop being so scared of things that you're uneducated about. I still wouldn't let nobody read my palm. I already know everything that it is to know when it comes to what I should be doing. I'm just reminding you about the basic ethic of life, the basic ethic of moral and value of what everything's about. When you an elder, there are people my age, people my children's age, that may not admit it, but in some form, they looking up to you. It don't matter how strong they seem to be. Exactly, Rob. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being, telling the truth. And so I agree. Nobody can put a spell on you from reading your palm. But as I said, people might be looking up to you. If you're 60 years old in this day, that's like being 80 years old. Melanated people ain't making it past the age of 55 and 60. Okay. I'm at the age where shortly, maybe in about 5 or 10 years, I'm hoping 5 or 10 years, bitch. You just never know. I don't know when I'll be a grandmother, but I try to raise my sons to do the right thing. My sons treat me like a queen. So when they decide to venture off and make their own families, I would be expecting for them to use those same skills to be a good husband to their wife. And I said wife. So people want you to come out and expose every intimate detail of your life. So they start lying on you. I'll never. Get your lie on. Get your lie on. We could sit here till 12 o'clock midnight, and I still wouldn't be able to have told y'all all of the stories, all of the ups and downs, traveling around the world, I still wouldn't have time to tell you it all. I shouldn't have to. You take my word for what I do put out here. Do with it what you may. But the gaslighting, the buffoonery, the foolery, the fuckery, it needs to stop. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to get them hands out. I mean, come on, even the animals fight, okay? It's all right to fight. That's what you got fists for, right? You got feet, you got fists, you got teeth. Fight! But that doesn't mean that every single day of your life, as soon as you wake up your eyes, you spewing out hate. As soon as you open up your eyes and open up your mouth, you spewing out hate. Talking 10-carat crazy, especially as an elder. So, once again, I appreciate, this is the spirit. This that's going on here. Ain't no young folk in my chat. It's women my age, like Lisa and so on and so forth. Or maybe a little younger. But ain't no young girls in my chat because I have an old soul. And if there are, I welcome you. Welcome. Appreciate you. But the same type of love that I receive from my family and those that care about me in my life, I'm seeing that same light bend off of my supporters. And I mean that. This is why they're so jealous. It's just like when I tell my mother little certain stuff, because I can't tell her everything. She y'all niggas really don't know, but it's okay. It's okay. You ain't supposed to. You'll find out though if you do the wrong thing, right? She said, "Well, bro, you've been going through it all your life." I said, "Yeah, but this one's a little different. I don't think I've ever been stalked." Has anybody in the chat ever been stalked? I want to hear. I'm talking about stalked, like that uncomfortable feeling where you know somebody is watching you in a malicious, evil way. Anybody ever been stalked that matter before? I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's disgusting. It will bring out the evil in you. It makes you want to hurt something. Makes you want to, well, my bloodline makes you want to go seek and find. Put a dog with rabies out of their misery. That's what it makes you want to do. Now, if you're weak, it might, counteract. It might work in a different type of way. Well, then if you have nudity, then everybody ain't gonna run and get scared. Some people want to go on ahead and end you and your whole existence. Now, there's a couple of books out here, y'all, on the internet. Hey, hearing. There's a couple of books. You understand me, Tammy? Uh-huh. You gotta be careful what you ask for. No man with legs is invincible. No nigga is bulletproof, right? And no nigga is, and nobody got everlasting life in this flesh. You understand? Stalkers are obsessively jealous, sick-minded humans. Thank you, Goop Doop. And it's sad. It's quite sad. It's sad. I mean, not even by an opposite sex, somebody that wants you, and it's by somebody who's the same sex as you, who you don't have any obligation to, who you don't even know, that is that's she eats, sleeps, shits, and breathes you. Is it uncomfortable? Yeah. It's uncomfortable because she's not uncomfortable with exposing that to the world. And to think that people sit and watch that. It's all entertainment until it gets ugly, right? It's all fun and games until it gets serious, right? So there's a couple of books out here on the internet. Hey, Renee, baby. God bless you, boo. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Everything's going to be good. Listen, I want to take a quick little second now that Renee has said that. I want to take a quick little second for our mod 9. Sending out peace, power, and prosperity to 9 and her family. Let's take a second. And so I know in my heart of hearts, everything is going to be all right. Now, I didn't intend for this midday show to be like this, but whatever God puts on my spirit, that's what I do. I was going to come out here and talk about the celebrities. I'm just, I'm in that mood where I feel like a message needs to be put out here in the universe. You got people fighting for their family, people fighting for their children to live. And you out here concerned with a stranger who talks better than you on the internet, a stranger who gets more love and attention than you on the internet. And because that attention from the internet is so important to you, that's a clear indication that something is the matter in real life. You see, I have a reason to come out here, even when I don't want to. The people that support me have shown me that they genuinely have a certain type of care for me. I ain't gonna say y'all love me, but I do recognize that there is some care involved. And that care goes both ways. So I have a reason to come out here and do what I do. But there are some people that's on this internet that don't have a reason to come out here and do what they do. You don't have supporters. You don't have a direction on your channel. You're not collecting any funds. So your actions is based strictly off of hatred, jealousy, envy, and mental illness. If my family, if I was in a certain mental psychosis, y'all, because I have childhood friends that watch my show, they're probably watching right now while they work from home. I can't lie on this internet about my life. She might pop up in the chat, and if she pops up in the chat, I'm gonna call her out. When you got people in your real life that know you in real life, that watch you, that are proud of you. People been telling me, the teachers, I used to do the announcements. How many of y'all went to high school? And there's something called announcements. When the beginning of school starts, there's somebody, a student, that would read all of the school functions, all of the announcements in the beginning in the homeroom class. Do y'all remember that? Well, if you remember that, that was me from the 9th grade to the 11th grade. I was always teacher's pet. I was always prompted. I studied drama in school. I spent a little time at the Center for the Arts. I understand it. But I have been prompted since a young girl. Oh, she's gonna be something. You ought to be a journalist. You ought to be this. But timing is everything. And we now know that that particular field or industry is not for a righteous soul. You got to be part of the brotherhood to even be on mainstream TV or be mentioned by the people that so-called run this earth. So God didn't want that for me. But what's happening right now, even on the days that I push myself, I do feel like was written a very long time ago. And when I came out this time last year, back in the beginning, I told y'all that I feel like in my last life, I was some type of royalty, some type of a queen. I'm certain of it. Now, because the people in my real life watch me, people from elementary school on up to now in my life, how can I sit here and lie to y'all about my life when I know that my mother's watching sometimes, my childhood friends, my cousins are watching? Now, why would I want to make myself seem like a liar in front of people that really know the truth? It ain't that serious for me. You're going to take me as I am, or you're going to exit the fuck left, and I'm going to still live my life. I ain't going to miss you. Okay? So I'd never sit here and lie about my life. I ain't going to blow nothing up. I ain't going to swell nothing up. I ain't going to twist nothing a little bit. You're going to get the real raw truth, no matter if it sounds good or bad. It is what it is. No bitch can convict me twice. It ain't shit you can expose on me because I never hid anything. I don't got to get into every detail of my life. I'm not no fucking criminal. I'm not no fucking maniac. You understand me? I ain't never killed nobody, and I ain't never did no motherfucking drugs. I ain't never sold my ass. I ain't never did shit that I gotta. So being that my family watches me on this internet, my friends in real life, my best friend, why the fuck would I come out here and lie? Now, let me tell you what a family that loves you would do. If they see you out here, not only in your 50s or 60s, but as a teenager, somebody in your 20s, 30s, it don't matter what the fuck age you are. What type of real family or friends would allow me to come out here and make a fool of myself? What type of friends or family that claim that they love me wouldn't say, hey, LOCa, come on over for dinner. Let me talk to you. You need to slow down. This can get ugly. A family that loves you is going to say, listen, that's enough. Fuck them. You don't know them. Friends and people in your real life that care about you, they're not going to prompt you to do things that could get you killed. They're not going to big up you for digging up dead people and harassing and severely stalking people that you don't even know. They're not going to prompt you to get your boxing gloves out at 50, 60 years old. You're going to lose. What kind of family is that? A family that loves you is going to sit you down and say, look, you know who you are in real life. Swallow your pride. Don't let your ego get in the way. Show the people something different. Show them why you live to see 60 years old and they might not live to see 45. They're not going to prompt you to dig down to a level that you might not be able to dig yourself out of. And not just with one person, but a lot. Many. You can't go nowhere. Because you done started so much stuff with so many people. You don't just have one enemy, and you know that. Let me tell y'all something. If that was my mama, if that was my grandmother, boop, 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 boop. Hello, mental health services. Yes, I have a mother who seems to be having a mental breakdown. I want to take a mental inquest warrant out on her because I love her. Because I love her. So no matter what you do, don't forget that we have an entire world that is banking on us being divided, not only as a nation, but as a family. And they have been successful with just that. So here we are. You rarely hear a Black person or a melanated person or a Niji in this day say, well, it was the white man. It ain't the white man's fault anymore. You now have inherited that hatred that all the people that are naturally inferior to you had for you. You now possess that spirit. Jealous of a young lady that you don't even know, to the point to where you want to destroy her. Trying to fight a woman all the way across the country that you don't even know. Trying to destroy her just because you want to seem tough. When anybody that has a title of tough behind their name, they earn that throughout their entire life. It don't just get given to you at some point in time later on in life. The tough people can be identified as tough for all of their existence. The strong people can be identified as strong for all of their existence, not just the spur of the moment. It don't work like that. But it takes a little wisdom to understand that ethic. So people sit back and laugh. Whew, she's crazy. Yes, I'm a watcher. It's good entertainment. Until you see her on the news in a body bag. Until people start losing their homes and losing their kids and maybe even their life. Too fucking far. And if you too handicapped in the mind to understand that, then that's your problem. Let's go back to the time where we respected our moral and value. We don't give a damn what they do. Because we know that there's a greater something out there that even when we don't give it credit, it's going to take care of the things that we may have even forgot about. So what do? You go on with your regular life. You don't wish no bad on nobody, and you don't play a part in it. You let nature take its course, because you know nature's going to always come through with the come through. The definition of a god or a goddess is to be able to rise above, to go to war when it's time, but to not be overridden with pride. Oh, I'm too prideful to walk away. My ego's too big to seem like the bigger person. No, that's a demon. That's Satan's way. Satan will go to any extent to prove that he's more powerful than the righteous God, when we know different. Anything that I've ever came out here and demonstrated and exercised. I work strictly off of my spirit. There's been times where I wanted to come out and cut food, and it ain't always been easy to hold back. It hasn't always been easy to not do to them what has been done to me, but it makes me stronger. I am strong. I was strong before I got here, and I'm going to be strong in the end. The weak one will run himself crazy. The weak one will be so busy trying to fight everybody that soon they're going to run out of gas or marbles. You can bank on that. So in this day, I thank God for my parents, even though they get on my nerves some damn time. And even if my granny is gone on to the heavens, her spirit is still here, very, very strong. And I mean very strong. So I still have something that they don't have. I have those memories of some of the most priceless conversations in the world. I remember them word for word. I was warned about demons, like what we're here to witness right now in this day. I pity the enemy. Some of the most powerful things in life are the things that you can't see. Understand that. So I'm going to do the celebrity update on the main channel. Meet me there. I holla.